There's nothing quite like the great outdoors. While some people like to take pictures of great scenery to showcase the world beautiful landscapes, there are some people that would rather watch the world burn. And I'm of course talking about my boy.
Fantastic. I've covered wars, you know.
Zombies. One of our favorite evil ghouls, and one of the classics. Many people love certain zombies, such as the zombies from Plants vs. Zombies and zombies from Minecraft, while others are absolute dog water and need to be thrown in a vat of chicken grease. What started out as a new horror trope in the 60s has now exploded into a timeless genre with just about limitless potential with the right ideas behind it. And in light of the horror show that is occurring directly over there, goddamn, okay, moving on. But it wasn't always like this. I felt that we should look at a game which adapted the genre in a way that, looking back, you wonder how we only thought of zombies in one dimension. So let's waste no more time. All this lollygagging is making me tense. Bring it on in here. Look at that, even our friend Merle is here. Look into those eyes. Homie's fighting a war all his own. But seriously, we've wasted enough time. DeadRising released to critical acclaim all over the world, receiving an average score of 8 out of 10 from most big reviewers, with many praising its unique take on the genre with giving the player a large amount of tools around the mall to have fun with, and how the game functions with cases which are driven by time. It is also an unfortunate parent of one of the worst Wii spin-offs many have had the displeasure of playing. Ew, what is that? What is that smell? Chop, what are you doing here? Get out of here, dude. Get out. Leave. Chop, don't you come any closer, man. You know I'm allergic to zombies, okay, man? Come on. Don't do that. Not fucking cool, Chop, till you drop. You're not gonna wear this damn leg brace for 2 weeks. Asshole. But the show must go on. Where was I? DeadRising immediately made a name for itself in 2006, because back then, if you wanted zombies, all you really had was Resident Evil and House of the Dead-esque game cabinets.
People of the AMS, I am Goldman.
Zombie games nowadays seem like they can be any genre, be it funny or scary. But back in the old times of 2006, that was a completely different story, where the only type of zombie you were gonna see is a scary one. So how does one go about changing the stereotype of zombies in media? If you were to ask the creators of DeadRising, they would have some of their own ideas, as you'll see. But if you ask me, I would say it's just like how anyone would when you're gonna put your own spin on anything. By looking at what people like, and some of what they dislike, then adding your own spin. And DeadRising did just that. And on top of all this, it was made by the masters of zombies themselves, Capcom. Seriously, these guys pioneered a genre for 10 years and still are to this day, with entrees like Resident Evil 7 and 8 still showcasing how good they are. But it wasn't just that which made DeadRising stand out. Before its release in 2006, there wasn't anything that let you just run around and get fully creative with how you would survive the apocalypse.
Blows up pancakes with mine.
Whether that be using park benches, dumbbells, chainsaws, including my favorite, or just guns, DeadRising gave you the creative freedom to use them all. And we almost didn't even get DeadRising, as it started development being a sequel to Shadow of Rome, a PlayStation 2 game released in 2005 to generally favorable reviews, but overall poor sales in Western regions, leading to Capcom considering it a failure. And it was only because Capcom was already in development of Shadow of Rome 2 when the series was canned, that the DeadRising we love and know today is around. And with the story out of the way, let's get into the meat of this biatch. DeadRising starts with you flying over the town of Willamette, Colorado, cosplaying as one of the recent UFOs seen around the world, taking pictures of an ordinary afternoon in America. Perfect. Until you are introduced to the main character.
As long as you're not dead, Fred. It's Frank. Frank West.
And dropped off on top of the shopping mall where the rest of the game takes place, and given
Haunting exposition.
It's too quiet.
Almost as if everyone's already dead.
Yeah.
You're then introduced to a comprehensive list of interesting and charismatic characters. Where nothing horrible will happen to the barricade.
12 seconds later.
Since this is a zombie game, the zombies have to make their way in, and so the barricade comes crashing down, and we have to make our daring escape. I've tried countless times to save the other survivors through the years, but it's just not possible.
Oh no.
After escaping, the true protagonist is introduced, Odyssey, my shining star in the darkness, and who will make you realize just how incredible having missions tied to dialogue really is. Where if you do the simple act of trying to survive while talking to him, it is treated as a crime against humanity, and you will be punished by never getting the mission he was going to tell you about. Completionists everywhere weep. After meeting the embodiment of God, you sneak out to the mall through the vents. Emerging on the rooftop of the mall, you are introduced to one of the core mechanics of DeadRising, and the #1 reason for rage quits on the Xbox 360. These parts of the game are not inherently awful, even though they could be better. As they add to the experience of chaos the game thrives off of, and introduces new scenarios to the player which are some of the most interesting parts of the game.
An example.
While I was playing the game a couple of years ago, I was escorting 2 survivors, Bert and Aaron, and I thought the best thing to do would be to arm them to the teeth. My favorite weapon at this point in the game is the dumbbell, because it could do so much damage, so I opted to give them both dumbbells. Now you would think this is a foolproof plan, and you would be wrong, as there is one essential part to the dumbbell story I still need to include. That if you get a headshot with it, it insta-kills whatever it headshots. So when my dear friend Bert tried to protect himself from the zombie attacking him, he took the life of his dear friend Aaron and proceeded to be eaten. This is where I discovered there are special death animations for some of the survivors, and goodness gracious, they are brutal. So the AI characters do serve a purpose, as most will have an exciting twist. Like a man who will not follow you until you have found some food for him, or a woman who is hurt so she needs to be carried back. These all add depth to the gameplay, and it's oddly addicting. But don't get me wrong, the survivors can actually be the fucking worst. This all will happen as you progress through the story, and shockingly, DeadRising's story is pretty good. It doesn't take center stage. However, I feel you should check it out if you've never experienced it, and I won't be disclosing the story after the first story case to preserve the experience as much as I can for you. After your escape to the rooftop, you start your way off into the mall, until you are interrupted by Jessie and accidentally cause her to hurt her ankle.
On the monitor.
It's probably just a sprain.
I've gotta help Brad. He's not here.
You learn that someone is attacking Brad, her partner, and now it's up to you to save Brad. This is your first introduction to a case. Cases are DeadRising's versions of missions, and as mentioned before, they are driven strictly by time. For a case to be successful, you have to initiate it at least before it expires, and sometimes you have to finish it before it expires, or you instantly lose the mission. And given that you are only allowed one save through the entire game, this can cause some stress. So you have to juggle the cases and grabbing survivors throughout the game. Now wait a darn second, I hear you cry. Why don't you just do the cases when they come in? And to that I say, it is not that easy. Because DeadRising has one of the most interesting double-edged swords I've ever seen in a game, where the intriguing cases are fighting tooth and nail for your attention from the sandbox, and vice versa, which makes it so that you never really get tired of either. So the moment you start feeling fatigued with one, you just switch right on over to the other. I've never seen any other game do this besides the other DeadRisings. And probably for a good reason. You have to know your shit when fucking around, because you can easily soft lock yourself if you are not careful when you need to get a case done. Like that. So you make your way over to the food court, where Brad is currently at, and are introduced to another key mechanic of DeadRising: psychopaths. These more or less function as boss fights throughout the game, and they are just as interesting if not more interesting than the AI escort missions, featuring some of my favorites, such as Adam the Clown and the Shopping Store Man. And yes, you can bring the survivors you are escorting to fight the psychopaths. However, it is strongly discouraged as they will get hammed so fucking hard. And with that final piece out of the way, we come to our conclusion. With DeadRising, it shows proof that even though a lot can be wrong, if you put a package together in the right ways, it becomes a charming and unforgettable experience. I won't forget how back when I first played this game, I cried because I had lost an hour's worth of progress. Or how the terrible AI made me want to throw my controller. Or how memorable the story is, right down to some of the lines the characters say. Because this game is timeless, and those things just cement the mood and feel of the entire game, and I wouldn't want it any other way. DeadRising fundamentally changed the way we look at zombie games, and it did it perfectly. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to like and subscribe, as well as hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my future uploads. There's plenty still on its way. Adios!